I'm really starting to believe that some people's brains don't function quite right. That people's brain don't function quite right. So let me get this part straight. This is Dak's expectations. We're going to close with this.
Yes! Here we go!
What are our expectations for Dak Prescott? Now, I'm not asking myself this because my expectation is for Dak Prescott to, if he's healthy, if Dak Prescott is healthy, one, we're going to get double-digit wins. But what are the expectations in the playoffs? Because I expected us to get to the playoffs even before George Pickens. Because whenever Dak Prescott is healthy, this team goes to the playoffs. So what are the expectations? Because people are already saying, George Pickens, no excuses. Really? So we're saying that George Pickens is the player that helps the Cowboys get over the hump. And he's the player that now says, Dak Prescott, it's either now he goes to the Super Bowl or else. What are people talking about? This is Brian Schottenheimer's first season. First season. It's not just Brian Schottenheimer's first season. Now, when George Seifert is one of only two coaches, I believe, that in his first season, he won a Super Bowl. He'd already been with the team for a long time, up under Bill Walsh. The team was loaded. Superstar players offensively and defensively. But he didn't come in with a brand new coaching staff. We're not only talking about a first year ever head coach. We're talking about a brand spanking new coaching staff. We're bringing in what? At least 20 new players? And because we get George Pickens, now people are saying Dak Prescott now has no more excuses. The first year under Brian Schottenheimer. Excuses? So we're expecting the Dallas Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl in Brian Schottenheimer's first year. It's pure insanity. It's pure insanity. Dak Prescott, I believe if he's healthy, Dak Prescott is going to do what he's always done. Dak Prescott is going to win games. Dak Prescott is probably going to win somewhere between 10 and 12 games. Easy. 10 to 12 games easy. But what we got to do first, we got to see what the scheme is. We don't even know what they're going to run. We got to see how the players are going to be used. We got to see what the defense looks like. We got to see the Matt Eberflus, and pretty much I think we know what he's going to do. He's going to rush 4, drop 7. Rush 4, 2 linebackers. Well, we got to see what he is. We don't know what Eberflus is doing yet. We got to see who all starts wherever. We got to see who comes out on the top. We got to make past training camp. We do. How many teams have we seen that look so good on paper, and then training camp, people start dropping like flies? We got to get to the point of seeing what the team is. Because at the end of the day, this is Brian Schottenheimer's first time being a head coach. And the expectation, because it's Dak Prescott as the quarterback, and now we got George Pickens, the expectation is that Dak has no more excuses. So you're saying that if Dak Prescott doesn't get to the Super Bowl, it's a failure? let's calm down a little bit. As excited as we are, and I know you know I'm excited, as excited as we are, I've been saying this, and then people have been hearing me say this. This is not the season. It could be. It could be the season. But this isn't the season. This is going to be the season to show you where we're going. This is that season. But this isn't the season. Could it be the season? Well, it could be. I mean, anything is possible. It's the NFL. Anything is possible. It is not beyond the imagination that the Cowboys could go to the Super Bowl and win. But it's probably imagination to believe and expect we're going to go to the Super Bowl and win in a first-year coach's tenure. Do I want it to happen? Yes. Boy, do I want it to happen? Oh, man, I want it to happen. Boy, I would love for Brian Schottenheimer to go to the Super Bowl in his first season and win it. For sure. For sure. Why wouldn't any of us want that? But we need to understand. Very few. 2 coaches. Only 2 coaches have done it. Only 2 coaches have done it. That's a tall glass. That's a tall glass to expect a first-year coach to go to the Super Bowl. That's a tall glass. Be excited about the season because we are going to win games. There will probably even be a point in the season where we're probably going to think we're going to the Super Bowl. I'm just saying, if this team, but we got to see it. We got to see it on the field. But the way we're moving right now, you could easily see where, man, this team is really shaping up to be a very good team. It is going to be competitive. Yes, it is. This team is going to be competitive. It's always been competitive as long as Dak Prescott is healthy. But for people to start saying that now Dak Prescott has no more excuses, that's crazy work. That's absolutely crazy work right there. That George Pickens, and it was only after the George Pickens pickup. This is when people started saying this crazy stuff. Oh, he got George Pickens now. There are no more excuses. Man, wait, hold on, calm down. Calm down. George Pickens does seem to be a part of the Cowboys are saying, yeah, we're in win now mode. But then it's not quite just say yet that they're going to win. They're all going to win now. But the Super Bowl, first-year coach, and maybe it would be different if it was a first-year coach, but the entire coaching staff has already been here. He's the first-year coach, but he's been on the team. He's been the assistant coach. All the other coaches have already been here. And then he takes over as the coach, similar to how George Seifert was. Then you take over as the coach. And then you got all these players, superstar players, and the whole lineup has already been solidified. You're not trying to solidify it. It's already been solidified. That's different. But to expect Brian Schottenheimer, to win the Super Bowl his first season, boy. I just think sometimes people, boy, the hatred grows. The hatred is so deep in some folk, they don't even understand half of what they're saying. But again, to think that Dak Prescott and this football team is going to now win the Super Bowl because they got George Pickens, let's slow our roll on that. Let's slow our roll on that. But they are going to be good. They're going to be very good. And I had said it before they got George Pickens. My expectations is the Cowboys are probably going to win a playoff game this year. NFC Championship game, we got to wait and see. Playoff game, though, I do believe they probably win a playoff game. But again, we have to understand if we're talking about NFC Championship game, there is not one team that we have to battle through. And let me read Drew 912. Appreciate Drew 912 in the crib. What's going on? Drew 912 said it is a big failure if Dak doesn't take this team to at least an NFC Championship. I already know it's going to be the same excuses for Dak. Nah, I disagree with you, Drew 912. And I appreciate what you're saying, but I totally disagree. And the reason why I disagree is because there are three other teams that I believe that in order for Dak Prescott and this team to make that mark, there are three teams in particular in the NFC that they're going to have to get past. And these three teams, they were very formidable last year, and they're going to be formidable again. The top of that list is the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to be a very formidable team again. And actually, there's a fourth team, but I don't think that team is going to be as good as everybody think. And I think the Cowboys are going to be able to overcome that team. The Washington Redskins, we beat them last year with Cooper Rush in an injured team. And almost beat them with Trey Lance the last game of the season. I'm not as worried about the Washington Commanders as some people are. But the Philadelphia Eagles are still going to be a very formidable team. The other team that's going to be very formidable in the NFC, and people are going to have to deal with them, that team is the Detroit Lions. If the Detroit Lions defense does not get decimated last year, I don't think that I'm just not sure if the Philadelphia Eagles go to the Super Bowl. The Detroit Lions were dismantling teams. It wasn't even close. When their defense was humming, it was not even close. They were dismantling teams before they got injured. There's another formidable team that people don't understand that is a very formidable team. And like the Cowboys have made steps, this team has made steps too. The Los Angeles Rams. The Los Angeles Rams are going for another Super Bowl. The Cowboys, I'm telling you, we're going to be better. Oh, yeah, you better believe we're going to be better. Will we win a playoff game? I believe we'll win a playoff game. I do. I absolutely believe we'll win a wild card game. But when we get to the divisional round, it all depends on how it falls. Because I am telling you, Philly, Detroit, and the Rams, they're all going to be formidable. And the reason why they're all going to be formidable is that they have something that we have too. Trenches. And theirs are a little bit more seasoned than ours. This will be our first year of our defensive line playing together. Go back and watch the playoffs. The Rams are absolutely nasty up front. The Rams are absolutely nasty up front. And they are going to be a problem. Because now they got Devontae Adams. They're going to be a problem. And while we're going to be better defensive line wise, while we're going to be, and you got to think about with us. This is why I say we gotta stop this Dak hate. We don't know what our offensive line is going to look like yet. We don't know yet. We know we got three in the middle. We don't know what the right tackle and the left tackle is. We don't know what they are. We don't know if Tyler Guyton, they were just talking about it. Brian Broaddus and these guys were just talking about it. We don't know what Tyler Guyton's going to be this year. Terrence Steele was getting his lunch taken last year. We don't know what those two are going to be. We don't know what our cornerback room is. We got to get that figured out. We have to get that figured out. Because when you start looking at NFC Championship, no, you're looking at now the best team. You're looking at the best team, the best two teams. That's what you're looking at. And while the Cowboys, to me, they have moved up the ladder, we got to see a little bit more before we start saying we're better than the Rams. People aren't talking about the Rams. No, I'm talking about the Rams. Sean McVay is going for another Super Bowl, straight up. And that defensive line he has right now, until I see what ours look like on the field, no, we're not them. We're not that defensive line. That defensive line gave Philly fits. And had it not been for them not being able to stop Saquon Barkley, we might would have had another conversation. And think about this. Had the Philadelphia Eagles not been able to get the Rams in the cold and the snow? I don't think people understand what they're talking about. George Pickens is not the player that says now Dak Prescott doesn't have any more excuses. We don't even know what the run game is yet. We don't know what the run game is. The running back room, does it look better? Yeah, the running back room looks better. We don't know what it is. We haven't seen Jordan Blue run one run in the pros. And for people to start saying, just because of what we are on paper, now Dak Prescott has no more excuses, you really need to check your football acumen. Because how do you know exactly what we are until we get on the field? I know what I think we're going to be, but I got to see it. We all got to see it on the field. We got to see it, man. We can't be putting this kind of pressure on the team. Dak Prescott is playing with all new coaches. All new coaches. Not a couple, all new coaches. Whole new team almost in so many positions. It's crazy for people to be saying this stuff. I said it and I keep saying it. 2025 is the season to show us where we're going. That's what this season is. This is the gelling season. This is the season where we start to get the chemistry. We have to get the chemistry first. We have to get the chemistry. We got to let the coaches and the players get the connection on the field. We got to get the schemes implemented. We got to get the schemes executed. We got to see the schemes, not just in the preseason. We have to see everything play out in the regular season. And so we got to see, okay, what do we look like after the first 4 games? What do we look like? Do I think we're going to win games? Yes. Do I think we're going to win double digits? Yes. I believe maybe 10 at the minimum. But we got to see what we look like. We have to see what we look like. And for us not to see what we look like and start saying stuff like, yeah, man, Dak Prescott ain't got no more excuses. With this team? We're talking about a paper team. Yeah, I'm excited about the paper team. But we got to get it on the field. We have to get it on the field. And anybody who's expecting Super Bowls and NFC, come on, man, NFC championship games, doesn't mean it can't happen. But we got to see it on the field. And then we can start saying, boy, the way they're... Man, the way they look these first 4 games, the way they look these first 8 games. Okay, now we'll get a good gauge by midseason. How has this team gelled? We at least need to get them to half the season, don't we? Now, I can tell you again, I believe we're going to win 10 games. But 10 games is not the NFC Championship game. 10 games is 7 losses. 10 games is you get into the playoffs maybe at the 8th seed. Maybe you win one of the wild card games. But then when you get to the divisional round, now you're going up against some teams. And I'm going to tell you this, Paul, we better not even sneeze at Green Bay. Paul, Green Bay got a stable over there, man, of wide receivers. And they can run the ball. Now, the issue is, we got to see. I mean, Jordan Love really only played, one good, and it wasn't even a whole season. He only played one half a season good. But as it applies to the Cowboys, the expectations for Dak Prescott, I expect Dak Prescott to ball out. I will not be surprised if Dak Prescott is comeback player of the year. I will not be surprised if Dak Prescott is MVP. But understand those are individual accolades. And you can get those individual accolades without even going to a Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson has proved it over and over and over. Josh Allen proved it. Dak proved it. First team All-Pro. Those are individual things. But when we're talking about teams going to the NFC Championship game, understand what I'm saying. Teams, not quarterbacks. Teams. We got a ways to go. I'm excited about the Cowboys. I'm just telling you straight up. I'm excited, but I don't think this is the season. If it's the season, I'm glad. I don't think this is the season. We have to give this team time to get their chemistry right. And practice is going to be good. Training camp is going to be good. We're going to watch some very good team battles. But then we're going to get to the preseason. And Dak Prescott's not going to play. And Dak Prescott hasn't played a game since the Atlanta Falcons game. That was half the season. So now we're saying that Dak Prescott is going to miss half of the 2024 season. Rehab in the offseason of 2025. And then Dak Prescott now is expected to step on the field in 2025 season. And all of a sudden, Dak Prescott is expected to take this team to the NFC Championship game. Do we hear what we're saying? George Pickens, first year on the team. We still don't know who the third is. We don't even know what the run game. All of this stuff again. We don't know what any of it is. We got to get it on the field. Do I think it's going to be good? Yes. But to start talking about NFC Championship games and the like, whoa, slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Could it happen? Well, we might get by midseason and start saying, boy, they going to the Super Bowl. But can we get to midseason first? Right now, I'm calling it that the team is going to be good. Double-digit wins. Probably get to the playoffs. Probably win a playoff game. NFC Championship game, man, we got a couple of we got a couple tough teams to overcome. Philadelphia Eagles, they're probably not. I'm not even going to say probably. Going to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row, people do not understand how hard that is. Philly probably will not go to the Super Bowl again. But the Rams and the Eagles, boy, they're going to make a strong push. They're going to make a very strong push. They are. And I will not be surprised if Dan Quinn is in the mix. I'm not worried about Dan Quinn. But again, man, we gotta temper these expectations, man, talking about Dak Prescott has no more excuses. So we don't think he's going to lose a game? We just expect Dak Prescott and this team, because they got George Pickens, to just breeze right through the playoffs and get to the NFC Championship game? Well, if you get to the NFC Championship game, you're pretty good. You're probably going to go to the Super Bowl. First-year coach, first-year coaches, a lot of new players, teams who are probably going to exceed at least most people's expectations, because most people probably aren't expecting them to even go to the playoffs, because I've already been hearing the projected record of the Cowboys by some people. But then, of course, it's the Cowboys. We win a few games. We mess around and be 5-3 in halfway through the season, and then people start building up expectations on us again. But again, I'm just saying, Dak Prescott expectations. Man, we got to stop this stuff.